It takes a special brand of infuriating to piss off fans this much. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 TV moments that made fans rage quit.
What is this place?
Welcome to the secret land of the jockeys.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're reluctantly looking back at outrageous scenes in our favorite TV shows that drove fans away, whether through bad writing, killing off a beloved character, or moments that were just plain difficult to watch. We'll be excluding terrible series finales. We're looking at you, Dexter, because at that point it was too late to rage quit. Caution, there will be heavy spoilers, and even heavier headaches. Number 10. The Lottery, Roseanne. For the first 8 seasons, Roseanne was praised by viewers for its accurate portrayal of the life of a working-class family. However, all that changed in season 9 when the Connors became millionaires after winning the lottery. This might be a great thing for a family constantly striving for financial security, but it also completely abandoned the original theme of daily monetary struggles that made the sitcom feel so grounded. In fact, the whole season became so surreal that it might as well have just been an entirely different show.
You know, going to a lot of movies, a lot of plays, stuff like that. We'll travel.
We could take one of them Kathy Lee tours.
Fortunately, Roseanne winning the lottery turned out to be just a part of her coping story at the end of the season.
And all is forgiven, sweetheart, all is forgiven.
Number 9. Selling Out Jesse, Breaking Bad. Walt originally hired Jack's neo-Nazi gang to kill Jesse, only to end up in a trap and almost arrested. When the white supremacists arrive, Jesse goes into hiding, but Walt reveals his hiding spot without a second thought, allowing them to abduct Jesse and make him their meth slave.
Found him.
What makes it even worse is that just when it looks like Walt wants to call it off, he spitefully reveals instead that he's allowed Jesse's girlfriend to die.
I could have saved her. But I didn't.
While the episode itself has been called one of the series' best, Walt's actions are nothing less than despicable towards someone whom he once called a partner. And considering all he's done to Jesse already, that's really saying something. Number 8. Laurel Lance's death, Arrow. Laurel was Oliver Queen's main love interest, and the second to don the Black Canary identity. While the character divided fans, she struggled through addiction and persevered to become a formidable hero in her own right, until the writers suddenly killed her off in season 4.
Look at me, gonna be all right. Gonna be all right, come on.
Even besides the fact that it broke the Arrow Canary tradition, her demise restarted Ollie's violent tendencies, reducing Laurel to woman in refrigerator status. Upsetting some fans further, it seemed like Laurel was given the short end of the stick just to make room for the Oliver-Felicity relationship, which has proven a rocky roller coaster of its own.
What am I supposed to do with an apology? Oliver, I'm just supposed to move on?
Number 7. Jumping the Shark. Literally. Happy Days. In this infamous episode, the Happy Days gang leave the drive-in diner behind for the beach, where Fonzie water skis over a jump, and a huge shark. The Fonz might have the magic touch when it comes to fixing the jukebox and being cool, but when did he learn to water ski? Seeing him pull off such an over-the-top stunt was so ridiculous that it spawned the phrase jumping the shark, used to describe the moment when a beloved TV show resorts to cheap gimmicks to try to stay alive.
You knew all the time that you were gonna make it, huh? Yeah, I did.
The Fonz may have made that jump and silenced the skeptics on the beach, but it would have been best if he just stayed on shore. Number 6. The Wedding, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has gotten away with some pretty gruesome content over the years, but this was a whole new level. For starters, the episode Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken sees Sansa Stark forced to marry the sadistic Ramsay Bolton, and that's not even the worst part.
Do I need to ask a second time? I hate asking a second time.
That night, Ramsay orders her to undress, and then rapes her off camera while the broken Theon Greyjoy watches with tears in his eyes. Unsurprisingly, this scene horrified viewers thanks to the graphic, nauseating imagery and terrifying tension. Others felt that the scene was unnecessary and only added shock value. At least we got to see Ramsay meet a fitting end in a later episode. Number 5. The Funeral, 2.5 Men. Following Charlie Sheen's controversial dismissal from 2.5 Men, the character had to be written out of the show. so they decided to kill him off screen at the start of season 9. If killing Charlie wasn't enough to rile up fans, the spiteful funeral scene definitely did the trick.
Charlie Harper was the love of my life, and a wonderful, wonderful man.
Selfish pig.
Not only is it implied that he was murdered, but everyone shows up just to heckle the service, in front of his family no less. Even if Sheen and the show staff parted on bad terms, fans found this little send-off more tasteless and immature than funny. However, Sheen got the last laugh by reportedly enjoying the funeral scene, calling it eerie but fun. Number 4. Lexa's death, The 100. Lexa was a popular recurring member on The 100, thanks to her complex character and budding romance with Clark. So naturally, the show decided to have her accidentally gunned down and die in her lover's arms. Wait, what?
Don't be afraid.
As you can imagine, fans were outraged that the show would succumb to the bury your gays trope, an unfortunate convention in which gay characters are treated as expendable and often killed off in the middle of romantic subplots, basically insinuating that LGBTQ+ characters can't have happy endings. Buffy the Vampire Slayer faced similar flack from their fans after killing Willow's girl Tara. At least on The 100, Lexa and Clark got to say goodbye. Number 3. The Brian Ratings Trap, Family Guy. In the episode Life of Brian, Brian and Stewie are about to enjoy some wholesome street hockey when a runaway car suddenly runs Brian over. He passes away a short time afterward, and while the rest of the family moves on, Stewie and the audience are left to mourn this unbelievable loss. The episode prompted a massive outcry from distraught fans, but fortunately, Brian returned from the dead just 2 episodes later, and creator Seth MacFarlane revealed that the whole ordeal was supposed to teach viewers a lesson about taking our loved ones for granted.
I couldn't live without you, so I came back from the future to save your life.
It's hard to tell which was worse, how they toyed with our feelings for what was essentially a ratings stunt, or that they couldn't commit to their little shakeup. Number 2. The Real Seymour Skinner, The Simpsons. It's hard to tell when exactly The Simpsons started losing its touch, but a lot of signs point towards season 9's The Principal and the Pauper.
Mother! She's my mother!
It turns out that Principal Skinner, an established character since the very first season, is actually an imposter, a former street punk mentored by the real Seymour Skinner. When the original Skinner was declared dead, the imposter assumed the role in his honor, until the genuine article suddenly returns. What's even more aggravating is that in the end, everyone ditches the real deal and decides to forget that the whole incident ever happened, which it really never should have.
But I'm a hero! And we salute you for it. Now don't come back!
If you've made it this far without calling it quits, here are a few dishonorable mentions.
It was you. What were you thinking?
They already knew.
Damn it, Sherry! The way you keep defying me!
I'm not defying you, David. I am protecting you.
Protecting me from what?
Go off, David.
I mean it. Get off me! I mean it! Get off me! We had a deal. Last feed for Wiley's life. Hand him over and it's yours.
I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman.
Pam, I'm right here. And I'm fine.
Well, there was so much more in Bobby. It seemed so real. There was Sue Ellen, and there was Mark, and I was married.
Number 1. Carl Grimes, The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead definitely knows how to shock people, whether with the Negan cliffhanger of season 6, or in this case, killing off Carl Grimes. We witness Carl slowly grow from one of the most annoying TV kids into a hardened, mature young man, but his journey was brought to an abrupt end in season 8 when he was bitten by a walker. Fans were especially miffed that Carl's death marked a significant departure from the comics, in which he grows more and more into humanity's savior.
It's not supposed to be like this.
He could have been the future of the show, but instead the writers made him as disposable as everyone else in the franchise. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.